Maya Khan stood at the entrance of the Sapphire Haven Hotel, her hand gripping the strap of her worn leather bag. Rain pelted the pavement, and lightning split the sky above, illuminating the grand facade of the hotel she once helped build alongside her late husband. The wind tugged at her scarf, and yet, despite the chill, a flicker of hope warmed her chest. After years of struggle, she had returned not as a visitor, but as someone reclaiming what was hers. Beside her, her 10-year-old son, Ayan, shivered and clutched her hand. "Mama, are we really staying here?" His voice was small, uncertain, yet filled with a hope that matched hers. Maya crouched slightly to meet his eyes, forcing a reassuring smile. "Yes, sweetheart. We're home now. This place, it remembers us." She stepped forward, the marble floor cool beneath her boots. The lobby was quiet, too quiet. Guests lingered in corners, whispering to one another, while staff members glanced at her with polite curiosity. No one seemed to recognize her. And then she saw him, Rasa, her cousin. He stood behind the reception desk, leaning lazily over a computer, flashing a charm that once would have masked the selfishness beneath. His eyes flicked over her face, hesitation barely visible before he looked away, resuming his false politeness. Maya inhaled slowly, suppressing the rush of anger. "I'd like a room," she said, her voice calm but firm. Raza glanced at her again, the corner of his mouth curling into a faint smirk. "What type of room, ma'am?" The word stung. Not cousin, not family, not even a hint of recognition. Just polite dismissal. "A standard room is fine," Maya replied steadily. He tapped the keyboard dramatically. Seems we're fully booked." Maya's heart tightened. "Fully booked? But the hotel isn't even full." "Reservation policies," Raza said smoothly. "We cannot accommodate walk-ins." Ayan tugged at her sleeve. "Mama, please?" Maya placed her hand gently over his. "It's okay, my love. We'll figure this out." Raza leaned back, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. "You might want to try the motel down the street, more appropriate for your situation." A surge of fury rose within her, but she held it in check. She needed to watch him to understand the depth of his arrogance, to see how far he would go to deny her. She needed patience even now. "Are you certain?" she asked quietly. "Not even one room?" His smile sharpened. "I'm certain. We are full." Lightning flashed outside, illuminating the ornate chandeliers above and casting shadows across the polished floor. Maya felt the electricity in the air, the weight of something unseen pressing against her senses. Then the security guard near the rear corridor stepped forward, his expression tense. "Ma'am, please don't leave." Maya froze. "Why?" "Because something's not right tonight. You shouldn't be gone." "Not tonight." A chill ran down her spine. Before she could respond, loud crash reverberated from the upper floors, followed by a distant scream. Guests gasped. Some froze. Raza's confident smirk faltered. Ayan clung to her side, eyes wide. Maya felt the old surge of determination. This hotel, her home, held secrets she didn't yet understand. And as the storm raged outside, she realized she had returned not just to reclaim her place, but to uncover the truths lurking in the shadows. Every fear she had buried since. Her husband's death rose in her chest, but mingled with it was hope. Hope that she could take back what was hers. Hope that she could protect her son. And hope that whatever waited in the dark corners of the hotel, she was ready to face it, for the first time in years. Maya felt alive. Maya's grip tightened on Ayan's hand as they moved further into the lobby, every step echoing against the marble floor. The storm outside rattled the large glass doors, lightning flashing intermittently, casting long, shifting shadows across the room. The distant crash and scream from the upper floors still lingered in her mind, a warning that something in this hotel was very wrong. "Stay close." "Ayan," she whispered, her voice steady, though her heart thudded in her chest. "We're going to find out what's going on." The security guard, a young man with a nervous edge to his posture, stepped beside her. "Ma'am, there are parts of this hotel that shouldn't be open at this hour," he said quietly. "Staff say. Strange things happen here." Lights flickering, noises, doors opening on their own. Maya swallowed hard but did not retreat. She had spent years raising her son alone, facing challenges that had left her stronger, sharper, unyielding. Whatever is happening here, I can handle it. Lead the way, she said firmly. I need answers. The guard hesitated, then nodded, motioning toward the service corridor that led to the upper floors. The flickering lights above made the hallway seem longer, more ominous, as if it were stretching toward infinity. Maya took a deep breath, pushing aside the fear threatening to paralyze her. Ion's small hand tightened around hers. He trusted her, and that trust became a shield against the dread curling in her stomach. As they ascended the stairs, the hum of the hotel grew louder, distant voices, doors creaking, a low murmur that seemed just beyond comprehension. Maya's pulse quickened. She could feel the weight of unseen eyes on them, a presence lurking in the corners, watching, waiting. They reached the upper landing, where the hallway split into two. Maya's gaze flicked to a door slightly ajar at the end. From inside came a faint golden glow, and the scent of something familiar: old leather, polished wood hit her. She knew this room. The study, her husband's study. Maya's breath caught. Memories flooded her, papers spread across a mahogany desk. The smell of his cologne, the warmth of his presence, even though he was gone. A hope bloomed in her chest. If she could just reach that room, maybe she could uncover something, anything. That explained the secrets he had kept. But then a sound froze her blood, a whisper. Soft and deliberate, coming from the shadows behind the study door. Maya. Her name. Her body stiffened. Ion pressed close. Mama. He whispered, I'm right here, love. Stay calm. Her voice was firm, but inside, adrenaline roared like a storm. She approached the study door, each step measured. Silent, she pushed it open. The room was empty, yet the desk drawer slightly ajar revealed a thick envelope with her name written in her husband's handwriting. Maya's fingers trembled as she lifted it. Her heart pounded with hope and dread in equal measure. Why now? Why tonight? She opened the envelope. Inside was a photograph, her husband, and Raza years ago. Someone had circled Raz's face in red ink. Beneath it, in shaky handwriting, were the words, "Trust no one, especially him." Maya's stomach dropped. The familiar warmth of hope collided with icy fear. Her husband had known something. Something dangerous. Something that might have led to his death. Ion tugged her sleeve again. Mama, what is it? Maya bent down, holding him close. Something we need to figure out. Together. As they stared at the photograph, a faint creak echoed from the hallway behind them. The door slammed shut with a gust of wind, and then, in the shadows near the study's entrance, a figure emerged, silent, deliberate, and watching. Maya's breath caught. Her heart raced. She knew with chilling certainty that the storm outside wasn't the only danger tonight. Something or someone was waiting for her inside the hotel, and whatever it was, it had been waiting a long time. Maya's pulse slammed in her chest as she slowly turned toward the figure at the entrance of the study. The shadows masked them, but she could feel their gaze, sharp, deliberate, assessing. Ion pressed closer, his small hand gripping hers like a lifeline. Maya swallowed, forcing her voice to remain calm. Who's there? The figure stepped forward. The dim light revealed a familiar face, Rosa. His eyes were wide, almost frantic, his smug arrogance replaced by something darker. Maya, he began, but his voice faltered. Don't, she said sharply, holding up the photograph. I have this. I know what you've done, or at least some of it. Tell me why you lied, why you denied me a room, why you, her voice caught, but she forced it back steady, tried to erase me from my own hotel. Raza swallowed hard, his gaze darting to the photograph in her hand. I didn't think you'd come back. I didn't think You thought wrong, Maya interrupted. And now, Ion and I are here to reclaim what is ours. Starting tonight. Ion peeked around her legs, his eyes wide but filled with trust. Maya squeezed his hand. He didn't understand everything yet, but he knew his mother would protect him. That knowledge gave her a strange surge of hope, determination that tightened like steel in her chest. Raza took a step forward, hesitating, as though calculating. Maya, it's not that simple. You don't know what's at stake. Your husband? He left things unsaid for your protection. Maya's heart skipped. Protection? Or secrets? You've lied, schemed, and tried to take everything from me. My hotel, my son, my life. And now you act like I should thank you for keeping me in the dark. Raza's lips twitched, but he said nothing. His silence spoke volumes, and Maya felt a surge of righteous fire. She could take back control, piece by piece, and she would. Then the lights flickered violently. Shadows danced across the walls, and the storm outside slammed against the windows like fists. Maya's chest tightened. The hotel seemed alive tonight, whispering, groaning, warning. Someone was moving in the dark corners of the hallways. A sharp noise echoed from the floor above a heavy thud, followed by the sound of running footsteps. Ayan flinched, clutching her tightly. Maya's mind raced. She had a choice: confront the danger head-on, or retreat. But years of hardship had sharpened her instincts. She would not flee. Not now. Not when hope had brought her back. Stay here, she whispered to Ayan. I need to see who's upstairs. He shook his head, tears brimming. Mama, don't leave me. Maya knelt, pressing her forehead to his. I'm right here. Trust me. I will come back for you. I promise. Her promise echoed in the study like a lifeline. She felt a strange, electrifying hope rising within her. No matter the danger, she could face it. She could uncover the truth, protect her son, and reclaim her life. Slowly, she ascended the stairs, each step deliberate, every creak amplified in the storm's roar. The hallway stretched endlessly, shadows shifting as if they had a life of their own. Then, she saw its another door, slightly ajar, its flickering light spilling from inside. From the shadows came a voice. Low, chilling, familiar. I've been waiting for you. Maya froze. Her breath caught in her throat. The hope she carried for reclaiming her hotel collided with the icy dread of someone or something else. Being here, she took a cautious step forward. Every nerve in her body screamed to turn back, but she couldn't. Not after coming this far. The door creaked open fully. A figure emerged tall, imposing, shrouded in darkness. And as their eyes met, Maya realized in a sudden, terrifying clarity that the secrets her husband had hidden were only the beginning. Tonight, the hotel would reveal everything, and she had no choice but to face it. Asterisk. Maya's breath hitched as the shadowy figure stepped into the dim light. The storm outside slammed against the hotel windows, thunder shaking the walls like a warning. Her pulse raced, but she forced herself to stay calm. Ayan's safety, her hotel, her life fit, all depended on her keeping her wits. The figure finally came into focus. A tall man, face partially obscured by the flickering shadows. His eyes gleamed with recognition. Fear, maybe, but also something calculating. Maya Khan, he said slowly, each syllable deliberate. I wondered when you'd come back. Her stomach twisted. Who are you? She demanded. And what do you want? The man smiled, though it didn't reach his eyes. I'm the reason your husband warned you. The reason he circled his cousin's face in that photograph, and I've been waiting for you to find it. Maya's hands clenched the photograph tighter. A spark of hope surged. This was the moment her husband had prepared her for, the truth waiting to be uncovered. You've been hiding something, she said, and I will know it tonight. Whatever it is, it ends now. The man's smile widened, chilling and sharp, bold. I like that. But do you really think you can face it alone? She squared her shoulders. I'm not alone. Her eyes flicked to the staircase behind her. Ayan waited, hidden, but safe for now. His faith in her a quiet strength she carried like armor. I faced worse than you, and I will protect my son. No one threatens what's mine. Tense silence filled the corridor. Then, with a sudden movement, the man lunged toward a small side table, pulling a folder from under a stack of papers. He tossed it to the floor, letting it fall open with a loud slap. Maya stepped forward. Inside were documents, sold contracts, financial records, and letters. Her heart thumped violently. These were her husband's hidden plans, instructions, and warnings. And then she saw it. A small envelope, yellowed with age, tucked between the folders. Her husband's handwriting spelled out her name. Her fingers shook as she tore it open. Inside was another photograph, this one showing her husband standing with several men, including Raza, in what looked like a heated argument. A red mark circled Raza's hand, and beside it was written, "He cannot be trusted. If anything happens to me, protect the hotel. Protect Ayan." Ayan's chest tightened. The hope she had felt surged again. Her husband had left her a map, a way to protect her son and reclaim what was hers. But the danger was real, closer than ever. The man in the shadows stepped closer, his voice low. "Now you see, Maya, it isn't just a hotel. It's more, and if you think you can just walk in here and take it back, you've underestimated everything." Lightning flashed, illuminating his face in stark white, and Maya realized something terrifying. This was no ordinary intruder. He knew every corner of the hotel, every secret passage, every hidden safe. He had been waiting for her return, studying her every move. But Maya took a deep breath. The storm outside mirrored the storm inside her. Fear, fury, determination, and hope fused together. She would not back down. She had survived grief, poverty, and betrayal. She would survive this. Clutching the photograph and the letters, she stepped forward. "If you've been waiting, then know this: I'm ready. I will protect my son, reclaim my hotel, and uncover the truth. And nothing you do will stop me." The man's eyes narrowed. "Brave, but we'll see if your courage lasts." A creak echoed from above, louder this time, as if the hotel itself was warning them. Maya's pulse surged. She realized the real test wasn't just confronting this man, it was uncovering the secrets her husband had buried. Facing the dangers lurking in her own home, and in that moment, hope and fear intertwined. She would not turn back. Not now. Not ever. The storm outside raged harder, thunder rolling like drums of war, and Maya stepped into the darkness, ready for whatever awaited. Maya's heartbeat echoed in her ears as she advanced down the hallway. Every step felt like a battle, every creak of the floorboards a warning. The man in the shadows, Raza's accomplice, she now realized, followed silently, his presence pressing down like a weight. Yet with each step, her hope grew. Her husband had left her clues, warnings, a way to reclaim the hotel and protect Ayan. She would not fail him. She reached the grand staircase leading to the top floors, its polished rail glinting under the flickering lights. The storm outside pounded against the windows with unrelenting force, lightning illuminating the hallway in jagged bursts. Maya gripped the railing, steadying herself, forcing her fear into submission. She had come this far. Retreat was not an option. A sudden noise, a door slamming somewhere behind her made her spin heart hammering. But it was empty. The shadows held nothing. For now, Ayan's small hand brushed against her side in her mind, a reminder of why she had to be strong. For him, she could face anything. She approached the service corridor that led to the hidden offices her husband had once used. According to the letters, the answers lay somewhere there. Her fingers brushed against a wall panel, just as her husband had instructed in the envelope. The panel slid open with a soft click, revealing a narrow passage lined with old photographs, ledgers, and a safe tucked into the corner. Maya's eyes widened. Hope surged again. She was finally seeing the pieces her husband had left behind. She knelt, running her fingers over the safe's combination etched on the edge of one photograph. Her breath caught as the door swung open. Inside were stacks of documents, contracts, and another envelope, this one thicker, heavier. She pulled it out. Her husband's handwriting was unmistakable. She tore it open and scanned the contents. Inside was a confession, details of Raza's manipulation, financial fraud, and the plan to take over the hotel after her husband's death. Maya's pulse raced. This was it, the evidence that could reclaim everything. A sudden movement behind her made her spin. The man from the shadows had advanced, his eyes burning with a dangerous intensity. "You shouldn't have opened that," he said, voice low and menacing. "Now you'll pay the price." Maya squared her shoulders, holding the envelope tightly. "I've already paid for courage," she said. "I've survived loss, betrayal, and despair. You're not going to break me," he lunged. She dodged instinctively, rolling to the side, papers flying into the air like autumn leaves caught in a storm. Adrenaline surged, sharpening her focus. Every step, every movement, she remembered her husband's words. Trust no one. Protect your son. Protect the hotel. As the man advanced again, the lights flickered violently, and a loud crack of thunder shook the walls. Maya seized the moment, darting into the hidden passage, clutching the documents. She could hear him following, relentless, but she refused to look back. Her hope burned brighter than fear. She had survived worse than this, and she would survive this too. Finally, she reached a reinforced door leading to the hotel's control room. Inside, monitors displayed every corner of the building. Maya's mind raced. With these cameras, she could expose Raza, protect Ayan, and reclaim what was rightfully hers. She pressed the buttons with trembling hands, watching the screens flicker, revealing the man's movements, every lie, every betrayal, documented. A quiet hope settled in her chest, tempered with fear. The storm outside mirrored the storm within, but she had a plan now, and she had the truth. Nothing could stop her, not Raza, not his accomplice, not the shadows that haunted the hotel. And yet as she turned to secure the room, the monitors flickered, then went dark. A whisper of movement came from the hallway, accompanied by a voice she never expected. "Maya, I knew you'd find it. But are you ready for what comes next?" Her breath caught. The envelope shook in her hands. The storm raged. The hotel seemed to hold its breath. And Maya realized the true test was only beginning. Maya's hands trembled as she stared at the darkened monitors. The storm outside raged like an omen, wind lashing against the windows and lightning striking in furious bursts. Her pulse thundered, but beneath the fear, hope burned brighter than ever. She had the documents, the proof of Raza's betrayal, and the instructions from her husband. She was ready, but the voice she had heard unsettled her. Someone else was here. From the shadows of the hallway, a figure emerged. Not Raza this time. Taller, broader, moving with quiet confidence. Maya's breath caught. The envelope in her hands contained secrets, but this figure held power knowledge she didn't yet understand. "You found it," the figure said, voice calm but icy. "But you still don't know everything your husband left behind." Maya squared her shoulders. "I know enough to protect my son, to reclaim my hotel, and to expose every lie you've hidden. That's all that matters." The figure chuckled softly, a sound that sent a shiver down her spine. "You think this is enough? You've been reading letters and looking at photographs, but the real danger is still inside these walls. And it's closer than you think." Her heart pounded. The storm outside seemed to echo her rising tension. Each creak of the hotel, each flicker of the failing lights, seemed to carry a warning. Yet, deep in her chest, a stubborn flame of hope refused to be extinguished. She could face this. She had survived grief, poverty, betrayal, and, now, battle for her home. Before she could react, the figure stepped closer, revealing a face partially illuminated by the flickering light. Maya froze. Recognition slammed into her like a lightning bolt. It was someone she had trusted. Someone who had stood beside her husband in the early days of the hotel. Someone she had never suspected. "You," she whispered, shock and disbelief mingling in her voice. "Yes," the figure said quietly. "And I've been waiting for the right moment to ensure you understood the full truth." Maya gritted her teeth. "What truth?" "My husband left letters, photographs, everything I need to reclaim what's mine." "Letters can guide, photographs can warn, but they cannot protect you from what's coming. He left hints, not the full story. And now that you've returned, everything he tried to shield you from is awakening." Ayan's small voice called from behind her, breaking the tension. Mama, what's happening? Maya knelt quickly, pressing him close. We're going to be okay, love. We just have to be careful. Trust me. Her eyes flicked to the shadowed hallway. Whoever this was, however dangerous, she would face them. For Ion, for herself, and for the hotel her husband had built, lightning flashed, illuminating the entire corridor. For a brief moment, Maya glimpsed a hidden doorway at the far end, previously unnoticed. A surge of hope filled her. Her husband had left one final path, one final plan for her to follow. But before she could act, the figure moved with sudden speed, disappearing into the darkness beyond the hallway. A chilling breeze swept past her, carrying a whisper. Find it. Before it finds you? Maya's pulse raced, and she realized that her fight had only just begun. The documents were a key. The photographs a warning, but there was more to uncover, more danger to confront. And truths her husband had not lived to reveal. She stood tall, her gaze fixed on the hidden doorway. Hope flared in her chest. She would protect Ion. She would reclaim the hotel. And she would uncover every secret buried in these walls. Yet even as she moved toward the unknown passage, a sense of urgency pressed down on her. The storm outside, the shadows within, and the unknown figure waiting in the darkness made one thing terrifyingly clear. Tonight was far from over, and somewhere, in the shadows of the Sapphire Haven Hotel, someone or something was watching, waiting, ready to strike. Maya took a deep breath, her hand on the doorknob. Heart pounding, hope and fear entwined. As the storm's roar swallowed the corridor, then she turned the knob, the door creaked open, and the darkness beyond seemed to breathe.